Welcome back to Blacksheep Barbell podcast. Today, Devin's back.
I'm back. I missed 2 episodes.
Devin did.
Busy, man.
Two
Lots
or
of
more.
stuff going on.
This doesn't matter.
Well, consecutively, too.
Yeah.
Consecutively, too. There was
Yeah.
like one before. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to get out here, man. You
I
live an
know.
hour away.
I know. And you're working. I get it.
And I come and we conversate, and then I got to drive an hour back. And I got to look out for them deer on the dirt roads.
Oh, dude. Nah, I'm scared to drive there.
But yeah, so honestly, that brings up a good topic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something that we can talk about as far as keeping on track with things you got to do, things you love doing, and obviously life responsibilities get in the way. But, you know, that's a big thing as far as staying on the path of stuff that you enjoy, right? Because obviously with me, I enjoy doing the podcast, but it's like sometimes you just don't got the energy.
Yeah.
And not that that should be an excuse, right? You should never like just kind of resort to that as I just can't do it. I mean, you can always make the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, with doing this, there's like that the travel, the hour drive.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
really the main thing.
recording,
I
and then
think,
obviously scheduling people. But just kind of using kind of what I was dealing with, having trouble
Yeah.
coming out here as far as something we can talk about. Staying on track with the things you love doing, not letting all your other obviously you got to attend your responsibilities. There's shit in life that you need to take care of, and that comes first, whether it's family, job, whatever. But realizing that you should never just stop your hobbies and passions altogether, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely, it gets tough just with life in the way, you know. But, you know, that go back to working out, you know, staying on a schedule, which honestly I've been struggling with a little bit right now just because of being busy and out and about.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always down by you because I don't live by you. So driving down there, going to work, doing this, it is hard. But you got to get it in somehow, you know. So.
And it happens like when you're going through life and, you know, there's things that you love doing, your hobbies, working out, whatever it is that you enjoy. You're going to go through those patterns and those waves where it gets difficult to manage sometimes. You can't always give it your full attention, but talking about working out, right? How many people have we seen come into the garage and get on a good program, make some good progress? They're consistent for a little bit, but ultimately they fall off at the end.
Everybody that's been in there.
Everybody, every single person that has been in the garage.
I understand sometimes, but I don't know, you know. It's a lot of our friends that we work out with, like, this is kind of new for them though. They're not really into it, you know. So I understand that in a sense, but it is hard to just keep track of like what you're doing, keep on top of everything. Life does get in the way, but it can't be an excuse. You just can't. Same thing goes for, you know, I know this podcast, it is hard to maintain sometimes, you know, with guests and everything, but you know, one day it'll be closer to you, so it'll be a little easier. But it is hard mentally. You know, sometimes we're exhausted. It's hard.
It's, you know, realizing we're human beings at the end of the day. We have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of responsibilities. And I guess the biggest point in all of this is to realize when we were talking about fitness from the very beginning, right? When we were discussing that this is something we love doing, we always said it's a lifestyle, not a hobby.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people that we've had in the garage or that I've trained or whatever, for them, I guess it was like the novelty aspect of they're doing something new that, you know, they enjoy being in that atmosphere of people working out together, the hype, they're seeing changes with themselves, but they end up falling off.
Yeah.
And who's to say, you know, maybe that's just not for that person. Maybe fitness isn't for that person. It's something that they're just not too interested in. But realize that if you do have like a calling for this, if you do feel like, hey, I really love this, I do want to see results, I enjoy lifting, I enjoy fitness, don't cut it out altogether.
Yeah.
You know, like I get sometimes you can't always go in the gym and have 2 to 3 hour long sessions. Maybe powerlifting style isn't really for you. Maybe bodybuilding really isn't for you. But maintain your fitness.
Yeah.
At least get something in if you're about it. Get those walks in. You know, do something a little bit lighter, a quicker workout.
Yeah, and that's why I do think it's important, especially if you're starting out or if you are just slacking off. Like, you know, everybody slacks off at some point. It's good to just maybe start a program for maybe a week or two, just so you know you're on, you know, just to follow something. Because, you know, if you miss a day, like, oh, shit, I got to make this up. You know, I remember that's how we used to work out when we did the PPSA programs. But, like, I remember being in Georgia when I worked a few jobs, and that gym closed at 9 o'clock. I wouldn't get there until, like, 7:45. I was like, all right, I gotta do it. I was so tired, but I was following a program. So that's why I do think following a program, especially if you're starting out or if you're starting to slack off, like that will bring you back to it. I think get you more into the gym, and it teaches you what to do when you're not following a program.
Absolutely.
I mean, you go off and on of programs too. So.
And we got December coming up. I don't know if you're going to be doing December, obviously, with the issues.
I might just do it a little lighter. The issue with me, like, I don't know if it's so much because obviously with my back issues, I don't know if it's really that or it's just I'm getting so sore from it because I'm just waiting so long in between. So I feel like if I start out a little lighter and I just get used to the movement again, it might be better because there's been times where I do deadlift and I'm fine. It just depends,
That's another good point to talk about is kind of that burnout, where some of that burnout might be coming from. Yeah. Is because, obviously with some of the lower back stuff you were dealing with feeling it from squats and deadlifts, you feel like you're kind of like cornered now and you're like, well, I don't have a lot of opportunities as far as working out. I could do some upper body, squat tober rolled around. You were dealing with the issues with squatting, couldn't really partake in that. And then as far as December, not being 100% sure if you can partake in that as well for the same problems, which can cause burnout because you feel like you're very limited to what you can do in the gym. And it's like, well, I benched yesterday. I can't deadlift or squat. What am I going to do today?
Yeah. Yeah, that, it is. It's something I have to deal with. I was just telling you the other day. I was like, I wish I could just work out like how we were when I started in like 2022. I really feel like 2022, 2023, that was like a prime time for me for working out, which is weird because I just started. You got those newbie gains and everything. It's exciting. But, we're only in our mid-20s. Like, I feel like we should be getting stronger, this should be our prime time. But now, we're worrying about injuries. You were talking about, a chest injury a little bit from benching earlier this year. And, me too. I've tweaked my chest. It's just all these little things. It's really, like, mentally, that's where it takes a hit on you because you're just thinking the whole time, like, this better not happen or I have to really make sure my form's perfect. And it just starts to take the fun out of it a little bit because you're so worried.
Which we were talking about when we were at Victory Gym. We were getting in the bench session. And still, like I was doing some chest today. And you feel that flare up a little bit. And obviously it's the nature of the beast. It's going to come with, I've been strength training now for, over 10 years. Yeah. Over 10 years. So it's going to come. It's just part of the process. You try to be as safe as you can, but once you start getting to that level of strength and handling heavier loads, you're bound to tweak something. Yeah. Like I've said before, kind of where my tweak came from, it's kind of in here in the upper chest area, kind of like armpit area was when I was doing that 295. Yeah. Prior to that, heaviest bench, 335. Stopped at benching, kind of like tapered off, wasn't really doing it too much. And then when I was handling 295, it felt easy, came down quick, come up, bar kind of shifts back towards my head, and I just felt like a pull here. Yeah. No bruising, nothing like that, nothing serious. But still to this day, I realize when I up the volume of any pressing movement, I start to feel it get inflamed here. So that's something we struggle with. Yeah, I feel it too. Like I was feeling it the other day, I told you. I think, I don't know, it just comes down to how often I think we're lifting that heavy of a weight. Or how fast we're coming down, or like you said, when you came up, you're shifting back. That puts a lot of pressure right there. So, I don't know. It's something to try to get over, and it's just like it's just always there. It's hard, It's just hard. So, I miss the days that we're just chasing PRs all the time. But it's I don't know. It's just tough now. Yeah, it's and obviously those days will still exist and can still exist. Dealing with injuries or any type of burnout during lifting or whatever your hobby is, it does take a toll mentally because this is something you love doing. Yeah, and you feel like you're being set back 1,000 miles. You're starting from scratch again. But I guess the biggest thing is for people to not like lose themselves over that. Yeah, right. Don't feel like you can't enjoy your passion or your hobbies just because there's like a little bump in the road. There's still other things you can do. You're still in the gym constantly, regardless of, the little back thing going on. Me with this little thing I got going on here, I still get my sessions in. I just monitor it. Yeah. I just try to be careful, more safe with the loads. But still, you could stick to what you love. You don't have to remove everything completely. Just know that you could take a different approach, but still continue doing that thing. Yeah, it's just important to not give up because of that. It's like if you enjoy working out and if you get injured, when I hurt my back, it was horrible. It was like the worst pain I ever felt.
But I could have easily just quit after that. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
not doing anything back or lower body focus or whatever. It's just important not to quit though, because you know you have to. These muscles have to get stronger for you to get better. You know, that's something I learned when I was doing PT and just learned from doing that stuff. You know, because I realized like I wasn't deadlifting for a minute, and then when I started again, it started feeling a little bit better. So it doesn't hurt me. Remember, I used to complain like
Yeah.
I'm sitting here and it would hurt.
Yep.
It doesn't do that anymore.
Playing pickleball?
So, yeah. Oh, I'm never doing that.
Yeah,
I'm done with that.
What'd you just like twisted it a
I
certain
must
way?
have been. I was like running to the side and I twisted to try to grab it.
Yeah.
That thing was. That was almost worse than the original time I heard
Yeah.
it. So I'm an old man sometimes, but it's important not to quit lifting at least, because that can heal you, even if that's the thing that hurt you.
Yeah. That it separates people from, it really demonstrates like if you're about doing this or not, and your passion. If your passion is there for doing that thing, and in this aspect we'll talk about lifting.
Yeah.
Some people, the second that something comes up, something, is getting in the way, a life responsibility, an injury, people are so quick to be like, I got to take some time off.
Yeah.
But what happens, right? Take a day off, that leads to 2 days. That leads to a week. That leads to a month.
Yeah.
And then people get in that pattern and they get accustomed to it and they quit it altogether.
Yeah.
And you got to ask yourself, I thought you were passionate about this. Because obviously you're not. You're giving up on yourself. You're giving up on lifting and this hobby and yourself ultimately because you're not wanting to stick to it.
And that's also the difference between somebody just being motivated to do something and discipline to do something. And we've talked about that many times, but it's easy to just be like, okay, I feel motivated today. I want to go hit this and hit that, but that's only that's not going to last long. You have to be disciplined. Okay, I'm following this program. I have to get this in today. Oh, I can only go to the gym for a half hour. I can do something. I can do half of this program today and do half tomorrow. Something to get it in. But if you're not disciplined, if you're just relying on motivation, that's never going to last. It's never going to last.
Absolutely. And we've said it time and time again, our biggest thing that we preach on this podcast is discipline.
Yeah.
Realizing that, and it doesn't even have to be lifting. It can be anything you do. But when you're going to do something, do it 100%. Your best foot forward. And if it is a responsibility that acquires your attention, something that you have to do, don't let anything get in your way.
No.
You have to do this and you're going to do it, right?
Yeah.
No matter what's going on because of that discipline.
Yeah.
It's getting cold outside, right? It sucks going in the garage and turning the heater on.
Yeah.
But with December coming up, Squattober, the weather was a bit better. But December, I always say it's like a big test because it's freezing out there.
It is. It hurts when you grab the bar.
Yep. In the midst of December, deadlifting 5 days a week, you go in the garage, it's freezing cold. It's cold outside. Could be snowing. You go out there and the bars are cold, the plates are cold. I got to pump the heater on.
Yeah.
It's like, do I want to do that? No. But you got to be disciplined about it. This is what I love doing. I want to see results. I enjoy training. And you can't let outside factors, the weather, I'm feeling tired. Like, I don't care if I feel tired. I got to do it anyways.
And I, even though, yes, in the wintertime, it does suck sometimes to work out in the garage, I still think the atmosphere in the garage is better than lifting at the gym somewhere else, around a bunch of people or commercial gyms, especially for deadlifts, because you don't know. Some gyms don't allow it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think even though, we've said before, embrace the suck. That's how it is. You just have to work through it. If you're disciplined and you're passionate about it, you just got to do it. You got to do the deadlifts. I know they suck, but it's December. It's supposed to be cold.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's, I really love that time frame or this time frame coming up of going out there and just working out in some shitty conditions because it does build character. It's like, you got people going to the gym, whatever. I always think of like the Rocky shit.
Yeah.
Out there training in the cold and the harsh conditions, but you see results and you stick to it. And ultimately, working through those tough times, when shit's easier, you're just flowing by, It's like you've already built up that mental capacity to handle the shitty times.
Yeah.
So now when life is just kind of looking like it's all right, you're fine. You've already been there. You've done that. You've gone through the suck. You've embraced it.
Yeah, and it's all about improvement too, because if you're not working through that stuff, if you're not still trying to lift super heavy even though it's cold outside and all this stuff, you're just going to be maintaining forever. You have to focus on improvement, especially with those compound lifts, like SBD. It's just important to focus on that and always try to keep track of your stuff. I slack on that sometimes, but it's important to keep track of, okay, how much you're lifting and everything, because say summertime comes around, maybe you can lift that lift better just because the atmosphere, the weather's better because it's more comfortable outside. But if you can lift like this certain amount of weight during the winter outside, then just think about how that can improve like later down the line.
Yeah.
You know?
And that improvement is going to come from being consistent with it.
Yeah.
You're not going to see the results you want if you're coming in the gym, working out for a couple weeks, and then you stop, you take a month off, and then you come back.
Yeah, it's not going to work like if you're just doing deadlifts during December and then you're done until next December. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
You know.
You got to stick with it. I mean, you got to stay on the grind. I feel like I've always told people, and I still, I feel this way, and honestly, I'll continue to preach this. When I was training people, it's like if you're interested in working out and you want to start, realize that this shouldn't be like a temporary thing, right?
Yeah.
Like when you take somebody on as a personal trainer and somebody says, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds in a month or 2 months, whatever it is, right? The case being, well, okay, realize that if you're going to step into the gym and you want to start training, this should be a lifelong thing.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that you're coming in here, we're going to work together through a program for however long, and then you stop once you hit your goal.
Yeah.
Right? Once you hit your goal, you should continue.
Yeah, that's a big issue. I see, I have family, friends, like ask me, like, should I start going to the gym this amount of time? This is my goal. This is what I want to do. But they, it's that mindset of, okay, I want to hit that goal and then quit. You can't do that. This is something you have to do your whole life, or you'll just go right back to where you
Absolutely.
were, That's why I think it's important. Like I think we talked about before with personal trainers, it's important to kind of learn from them. Don't rely on them.
Yeah.
We've had multiple personal trainers on, and they said the same thing. It's important to, you're going to watch them, make this program for you, tell you what to do, and then so you can do this by yourself and then improve on that. So it's always important to learn what you need to do and don't just rely on one thing.
Because when you're working with somebody and let's say you're stepping foot into a gym for the first time and you take on a trainer, you shouldn't really have the mindset of, okay, I'm going to work with this person and they're going to get me to where I want to be in this time frame, and then I'm done. Then I hit my goal and then that's it. We check the box and now I'm done. You should look at it like, okay, I'm going to work with this person. I'm going to start acquiring some skills, some knowledge that I'm going to maintain with me for my entire life.
Yeah.
Now I have knowledge about training, certain movements, form, things that work, diet, and then now I can provide this to other people.
Yeah.
I really do think like when you step foot in the gym and you're willing to start working out, like that should solidify you're going to do it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Because like you were just saying, you step in the gym, you start getting familiar, you start training. The moment you stop and you give up on it, you're going to fall back into your old habits.
Yeah.
Gaining weight,
Exactly.
getting weaker. And it's like, I don't know, man. The second that you decide to take on the gym, that's it. I'm doing it forever now.
Yeah. And like, it is easy to fall back and to quit that. It's not easy to work out. So, people just think things should be easy, but it should be hard, and it should keep getting harder to do that thing because, a lot of people will work out and just stick to this weight their whole life or something. You need to, that's why it's important to like add weight every week or every other week, 5 pounds here, 10 pounds here to improve on yourself. And that's why it needs to be a lifelong thing because you have to keep improving.
Yep.
So, you hear a lot of people are like, I don't want to get too bulky.
Yeah.
I just want to lose weight. It's not like that. It's not just black and white like that. It's very hard to get bulky. So that shouldn't even be a worry. But, people just don't realize that to lose weight, you can't just walk on the treadmill. You have to do a bunch of other stuff. So it is a lifestyle thing. You just have to change your lifestyle every day.
And I don't put so much blame. I guess I understand where people come from if they're not too familiar with fitness, that it's like, hey, I just want to come in here for a little bit and obtain this goal, and then that's it. I guess what we would want is for somebody to maybe, if you have that approach, that's fine. It's normal. But to realize that you love doing this actually and you're going to stick with it.
Yeah.
If you continue to show up to your sessions and you start learning more stuff, you're like, okay, I get this. I got the routine down and I enjoy doing it. Then it becomes a lifelong habit and something you're passionate about now.
Yeah. And like, people don't know that they will be passionate about it. I don't know if I knew I was going to be passionate about it until you started doing it. Then I started working out with you. So this could be a new passion for you to realize that you love doing. So it's important to just, get that workout in.
Yeah.
Keep it.
And I know some people too nowadays are kind of intimidated by getting into the gym.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Sure.
I've talked to many people that have told me, I'd work out, but sometimes I just get so anxious going in there. People recording, people being obnoxious, lifting a lot of weight. Some people get intimidated because obviously they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They don't want to be judged. I've had people tell me before when I've brought up Squattober to them, they're like, I don't know how I feel about doing a squat. I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want my form to be off or I injure myself.
Yeah.
And you got to get over that hump of being afraid and realize everybody had a starting point. Everybody started at an empty barbell and added a little bit of weight, added a little bit more weight. Just realize that we all started at some. I remember being at Planet Fitness 14 years old, not knowing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Looking up programs on bodybuilding.com. My form was trash. There's a video of me doing a 315 deadlift with the most rounded back ever.
Yeah, I'll put it in here.
Oh, I don't know.
It's in another episode somewhere. But yeah, I mean, that's a big thing. People are intimidated, but that's another thing we've talked about is usually the gym culture is very positive. People will help you. You should go to the gym and do things that you don't necessarily really know how to do, and people will show you. When I started out, I've had people come up to me and show me how to do this, how my form could be better here. 99% of gym culture will help you out. So it shouldn't be that intimidating. I understand why it is at first, but usually people will help you.
Yeah.
So.
And you got to embrace the being critiqued.
Yeah.
You can't feel ashamed or upset and mad that somebody's critiquing you. Realize that, especially if you're new into lifting, that you don't know everything.
Yeah.
There's people that have been working out for 20 plus years that still take on new knowledge. Somebody's trying a new technique, a new program, something that can work for you.
Yeah.
It's a never ending process of learning.
Yeah.
You're always going to learn. There's always new stuff coming out, new research. And if you go into the gym and somebody that is apparently stronger than you, right? Obviously putting up more weight and they want to critique something, it's all beneficial to you.
Yeah.
You're going to gain new skills, new knowledge, something that you can try that perhaps is going to help you and make you better and help you succeed.
Yeah, and it's always important to change up. Like, it doesn't matter if you've been working out for 20, 30 years. You need to change that stuff up or you're just going to get bored of it, and you'll probably end up not doing it as often. You're just maintaining. So it's always important to change up what you're doing. I know we talked about this before recently. It's like, what is your plan for like next year, say? Are you going to change up some of your training style? I know you were talking about that.
Yeah, and I do this all the time. Honestly, I feel like I'm like a broken record when it comes to this. But so just got through Squattober. Obviously, at this point, I'm not as strong as I once was. Back in the day, a few years ago, I was a lot heavier. I had more time to focus on training. Again, bringing up the responsibilities and stuff like that. I'm not where I was, but I'm still doing the stuff. I'm still lifting. I'm still following programs. I'm still making progress. So this Squattober, I ended up with a 355 squat. Mind you, back in the day, 2022, I hit 415.
Yeah.
So I was stronger at one point, but just because I was up here at one point doesn't mean I'm like, there's no point in doing it. I'll never reach that. I'm still going to train. I'm still hitting like PRs for this lower body weight and everything.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because you are hitting, you're hitting weights that you haven't hit at your body weight now, which technically means you are stronger. You are improving on your strength because you're lighter and you're lifting these heavy weights. Yeah. So that's why, you can't look at it like, I used to hit that. But you were a different body weight at that time. It's different. The heavier you are, the heavier you can usually lift. Yeah. So.
And that's the thing too. I mean, I know some people won't agree with it, different perspectives, but at that time when I was my strongest, I was in college. I had more free time. Yeah. I was on a day shift schedule. I was getting more sleep. I was just focusing on school and then lifting. Yeah. Now having a full-time job, I'm working nights, 12 hours, but I'm still making progress. Yeah. There's more responsibilities in my life, but I'm still maintaining in the gym, right? I'm still lifting. Yeah. Consistently, but I'm making progress with all these other things I have going on in life, which in itself is a PR. Yeah. But back to your question of like, is something going to change? So right now my plan, just finished Squattober. December's coming up. Going to ride through that. Probably for the rest of winter, just focus on strength training. and then maybe in the spring start trying to do a cut.
Yeah.
Maybe focus on some bodybuilding a little bit more functional stuff. Try to introduce some running. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
There's episodes I'm like, I don't know. It's the running short-lived, but that's how you keep things fresh. That's how you keep that novelty aspect.
Yeah.
Just constantly change up your training, which I like doing.
That's my thought too. Of next year for me, probably around springtime. I want to just incorporate more running. I just do, and I think it would be fun to maybe try to do some kind of 5K, 10K or something. And I like the idea of signing up for one. Like, oh shit, I have to do one on this date. So
Dedicating yourself to it.
Yeah, because I think I train better like that. I have this thing scheduled. I have to be ready for it.
Yep.
So I think that's my plan next year in the coming months is just, I want to train for that. At least do some cardio like on bikes. Like I have the bike in the basement here or I'll do running. But it's cold as hell outside. So I would rather probably do a treadmill.
Yeah.
But, I think running is important for overall, health and everything, which I'm kind of getting more into, watching more. So I'm like what I'm eating and, health-wise stuff, because obviously you can dirty bulk. You can just get as heavy as possible and as strong as possible. But right now for me, my interest is to try to change up my training style and try to be a little more healthy while doing it.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. You need a mission. At the end of the day, you need a mission. You can't just float. Anything you do in life, the gym, whatever. If you're just floating and just seeing what the day brings you, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
That's why I love these months, and I've said it time and time again, Squattober, December, Benchuary. Now they got the spring cleaning. All these months, it gives you a goal. It gives you something to strive for.
Yeah.
So when I wake up and I go into the gym, I know what the purpose is. December's coming up. What's the mission? Let's improve this deadlift. Right?
Yeah.
There's a goal in mind where we always feel like kind of like that, not depression, but that feeling where once these months are over, like, damn, now I gotta find something to focus on.
I know. I always feel that way. I mean, but now there's, Benchuary and the spring cleaning, but we don't really do that.
Yeah, I didn't do it. I'll be honest. Some of those Olympic lifts, the cleans and stuff, I really haven't done them. Maybe I'll try it this year.
I don't know if it's smart for me with my back. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know if I probably tried to clean one time in high school with the football team, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, after these months, it's like, what the hell? Like, what do I do? I know we've done a lot of pen and paper strength programs, and sometimes we don't do a program. We just do whatever. But yeah, I think I'm going to focus on running, I think, a little bit. And then if I get too skinny, which is my fear, if I get skinny again, if I lose like 20 pounds, who cares? I'm still young. I'll gain it back.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is like now is kind of the prime time for us to experiment with different things.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, bodybuilding, powerlifting. You want to get into running. You want to do the hybrid style training. Like, really, I don't even want to say this is a prime time. Because you could change stuff up your whole entire life.
Yeah.
But like we've said before, that's the beauty of fitness. Is there's so many different avenues, so many different things you can do that are going to keep it fresh. Which honestly, I encourage people, if you're starting to feel a little bit of burnout from the style of training you've been doing, there's nothing wrong with exploring other stuff. You can always go back.
Yeah.
If you've been doing powerlifting for X amount of years and you're just like feeling like you're hitting a wall, you want to try something else, don't get so comfortable with just because you've been doing powerlifting style training. Venture into some other stuff.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with, hey, let me try some running, or let me take a couple months or a year and try some bodybuilding. Like, powerlifting is always going to be there.
Yeah.
That style of training is always going to be there, right? Bodybuilding is always going to be there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is it keeps it fresh. Don't be afraid to venture out into some other stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly my thought process with it. I'm like, dude, I'm still young. I've been trying to do these powerlifting like workouts for the last 3 years or so. Like, I want to try something else. Like, I just want to. I mean, we have time to go back and do powerlifting again. So I think, I've done obviously bodybuilding focused stuff, and it's just like maintaining sometimes. But I think really having a goal of, okay, I want to run a 10K by this date. I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to run. I'm going to train to do it. And, I think it's important to change it up sometimes.
It's also exciting because you get to see kind of what you can excel in.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like you've been doing powerlifting for this amount of years or bodybuilding this amount of years. And I don't know, maybe running could be your forte.
Yeah.
Maybe you can be really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
How are you ever going to know unless you try
Yeah,
it?
exactly. Even though I don't like running, but
I don't,
we'll
I don't
see.
like it either. I don't like it either. And when I was in the Army, we did a shit ton of it.
I know.
And prior to me going in, I absolutely hated running. I never thought I would have, I think my best 2 mile was like 13 something.
Yeah.
You think I could ever thought to myself I could run that? No, dude. And then consistently running, like, damn, I can actually be pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
I still hated it at the time, but seeing what my body was capable of, putting up some good mile times. I think I ran a mile. My best mile was like 6 minutes and 20 seconds.
That's good.
I never thought I could fucking do that.
Yeah.
But seeing it, I'm like, damn, again, it just really shows you what the human body is capable of and what you could possibly excel in.
And I remember when you were joining the Army, like before you went, I remember you were training a little bit of running because you were like, I'm gonna have to run a lot in boot camp, in basic training. So, and then you guys would go and run together, right, in the morning or something at the little sign up place.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go do some maybe it's like a mile or two run, but yeah, I'm right there with you. Changing things up. I wouldn't mind getting into it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of benefits in it for me for my job. Just having better endurance.
Yeah.
Right. Just your cardiovascular system, just increasing all that. Because right now I barely do any cardio.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. And I think I should. I mean, I think it's just important at least to do some of it just for cardiovascular health. But after talking to a lot of the guests that we've had on, we've had guests that are powerlifters, bodybuilders, CrossFitters, all these different people that do these different style training. I think I do want to try something else. Just try something different for a little bit.
And that's a good thing too with having so many different people on and having different perspectives is realizing how much actually goes into these other things and how interesting it is to be able to develop through that.
Yeah.
Right. To take on these other challenges and new training styles and just grow through it. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, I mean, you're just improving yourself because now you're more knowledgeable in so many different fields.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, at the end of the day, even if you do go back to just powerlifting, you have that experience of, like running here or doing this program or something. And you can always change it up. You have all this knowledge of what to do. Like, oh, I feel like this month I'm going to incorporate more running, and you may already be conditioned enough to do that. You know, because that's also a work in process to how long you can run and pacing and everything. It does suck getting into that at first, but I remember in high school I was doing a little road to 10K program on my phone where you run to it, and then each week it goes up a little bit more running, less walking. And I couldn't believe how long I could run for at the end of the day. Like when I was halfway through that program, I was like, I never thought I could keep a pace this long and run. So I know I'm looking forward to doing that again, probably.
And another thing too, I mean, look at a lot of big influencers, a lot of people that are well known in the fitness industry. A lot of them venture out and do different things. I mean, what I'm thinking about right now is Eddie Hall and Hafthor Bjornsson. Yeah. Strongmen, right? I mean, world records, crazy numbers that they're hitting. And I remember when they were going through that period of getting into boxing.
Yep.
Both of them cut down tremendously, lost a lot of weight, got into doing more cardio, training for boxing, doing that style of training.
We also got Mark Bell.
Mark Bell, he's kind of stuck with, I believe, kind of that style of training. But I know like Hafthor, for example, was a strongman, got into the boxing training, and then went back to strongman. Yeah. And he holds the world record deadlift right now. But see, that kind of goes to show he's a prime example that he really made a name for himself off of a certain style of training, ventured out and tried something else, made a big life change, a big physical change, and then look, he's right back stronger than before. Yeah.
That's another thing. I just think sometimes it might be good to take a break from that style of training and then come back to it later because you probably will come back stronger. It's nice to have that break from that. Something else I think we talked about recently is that maybe an interest of doing some martial arts or something.
Oh,
I know you were talking about that.
So, I got some buddies from work and stuff that were talking about getting into jiu-jitsu. Yeah. That's something that possibly I'll probably try here in the near future. Just introducing some martial arts, jiu-jitsu, whatever it is, again, just to change it up, try something new. That opens up opportunities for myself and even this podcast, right? Different guests that we can have on.
Yeah, we could relate to, have different guests on into MMA or martial arts and, And I think, it is a form of cardio too.
Yeah.
So you also be getting your cardio in.
Yeah,
Which is good.
and I heard it's a crazy workout. I mean, you're going to be sore. I mean, you're working muscles you've never worked before, and obviously you're acquiring some really good skills that can help you out there on the street, whatever you're doing.
And I've had times like where I've like either hit a punching bag or like when I was in high school, I was doing little boxing training with a friend. And you get tired quick.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you're not used to that. So, it's a lot of cardio. It is. I mean, that's something else you got to just work up, like how long you can last for.
I was probably like 13 or 14. This was a long time ago. Before the Army, I was still in school and everything. Middle school or high school. I had been lifting up until this point, right? I thought I was strong, everything like that, in the gym lifting weights. And I went to a kickboxing class. And the first time, and my only time I've ever been to one, but I wanted to try it out. And they were doing like little circuit workouts. And I remember they had dumbbells. And I was like, all right, I work out. The heaviest set was like 10s. I'm like, that's it? But, coming from working out consistently, I'm like, all right, I'm going to grab the 10s. And I remember everybody looks at me like, what the fuck is he doing grabbing the 10s? I'm doing this little workout, dude, the circuit, and it was killing oh my God, I was dying, man, just with the 10-pound dumbbells. But see, it's different. Yeah. You're working different muscles. It's a totally different training style. And it was just kicking my ass, man. But that goes to show there's other stuff out there. There's other things that you can try. You shouldn't be afraid to try it because you're going to probably get a workout than that whatever training style you've been doing for so long.
Yeah, and that is another thing with these other programs or other styles of training is you're working muscles that you're not working right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. Like I think with powerlifting, you're not really working like obliques a lot. That's something like that's a big bodybuilding thing. Or like other muscles like if you do different training styles, you'll be sore in places you have never been sore in before, So that's also good to mix in there and maybe just to educate yourself on what else you can do,
Because I know with powerlifting, really focusing on the compound lifts, you're getting just a full body workout. I mean, you're working pretty much everything with the squats, deadlift. But there is a period of time, and I look at myself like, okay, I've been doing this style of training for so long. There are some muscle groups that I've neglected. There's some things that, I can't really hit too much or focus on and really fine tune by doing a squat or, a deadlift or a bench. Bench press, right? So when it comes to doing powerlifting, you're doing a lot of benching, but how much are you really hitting your upper chest?
Yeah.
You're focusing on bench a lot, but that's something I realized like, damn, I got to hit upper chest a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just changing it up. That's the one thing I kind of want to get into bodybuilding too, is just to kind of really hit some of the muscles a little bit finer, right? Specific muscles that I've neglected since I was doing powerlifting for so long.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, a lot of people say bench press is the worst chest workout, flat bench press, because, unlike dumbbells and everything, you're laying on a bench, you're just going straight up. It's not really a specific muscle. It's like just mid, and then if you do, incline bench, I always hear that's better for shape and everything, especially for bodybuilders, doing upper chest. So it's important to just change it up and maybe focus on certain muscle groups.
Another thing I was thinking of too is the pen and paper. So how they have the dumbbell only programs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's even a good change of pace.
Yeah.
You try one of those. I mean, for how long for our compound lifts and stuff? I mean, we do barbell. But hey, let's try a month where we're going to use dumbbells only. Yeah. Which honestly, you might see some really good benefits because now, you're going to be working both sides or whatever it is evenly. Now, I mean, it's like sometimes like we've talked about, you got that barbell and one side's a little bit weaker or whatever, but now using dumbbells, let's increase that stability, that stabilization. Let's see what gains we can make just focusing on dumbbells for a whole month and see how that, improves our barbell lifts after the fact.
Yeah, which it can do for sure. I mean, I've always heard, I think we've done the first dumbbell one. I think I have that one.
I think you might have, or tried it at least.
I think I have it. I did it like years ago. But that is another thing is like these will also improve those other lifts. It's nice to take a break from that. Yeah, I do think I'm going to do that soon, actually. Because he just came out the second one. Yeah. So that'll be a good one to do.
I am curious to see too, like if we do run that, we'll have to kind of talk about it and give them some updates. Yeah. Because I'm curious to see how, and we've never done this. Again, we're going back to, just so much out there that we can try to see, hey, let's put the barbell down for a little bit. Let's try dumbbells, progress with that. And then after that month, we'll go back to barbell and see if we notice a big increase.
That might be a good one to do in January or something. But I am interested to see what kind of, all the workouts in there, like the leg workouts and everything, because you're not going to be squatting because that's a barbell. I mean, you can do other variations of squat, but you're not doing barbell back squat. So
I believe there's like a lot of maybe some like dumbbell lunges, Bulgarians, unfortunately. What else? What goblet squats? I've seen like a lot of obviously dumbbell press, flat, incline, shoulder press, rows with the dumbbells, curls, obviously.
Yeah, the good thing with the dumbbells too is that, especially if you have a set at home, like you can just do that at home, like any part of the day. You don't have to worry about having a barbell. So I think that's also a good program to do if you are, I guess, if you're getting into the gym and you're nervous about going.
Yeah.
And that's all you have at home. So that's just good for at home.
Start with some dumbbells. It's convenient. I mean, you can get a quick workout. If you are somebody that's a little intimidated, you know, I mean, pick yourself up some dumbbells, 15s, 20s, 10s. Just get a little workout. Start somewhere. Do something. Doing something is much better than doing nothing.
Yeah.
Start at home. Go in the garage. Get some of these workouts in. Find a program like this, dumbbell only.
Yeah.
Once you have your set of dumbbells, wherever you want, wherever you're comfortable, start training. Start getting used to it. The movements. Look up videos. Whatever you got to do to get comfortable, and then make that transition to the gym.
Exactly. Yeah. And with dumbbells, you can do so much with dumbbells. You see those like workout videos that people do, and they have even light dumbbells. They're doing a bunch of cardio-esque stuff. It's good for all around training, so. I
just wish they weren't so expensive.
I know.
I got to try to get some more for the garage.
Well, I just have the interchangeable ones at home. So.
What do those go up to?
The ones here go up to 50. 50? So, which I think is okay for if you're doing a bunch of dumbbell workouts. I think they have like a one that gets heavier, but it's just expensive. So
yeah, they are really expensive.
I think it's one of those things, 1 to 50, then 50 to something else.
Yeah.
So
yep. I know I got to get some more of those in the garage right now. I have 10s, 15s, 20s, 35, 45, 60, and then to 100.
Yeah.
So I don't have any 65, 70, 75, 80, 85.
Yeah, 60s and 70s would be good to have in there.
Get some more of those. I just recently picked up a new barbell. Had to add to the collection. The blue Texas Power Bar.
Kind of for December. Blue. We have a blue and white bar.
Yeah,
now.
Those are strictly December bars.
Yeah.
That was honestly what pushed me to want to get it, was just for December.
Yeah.
I tried to get the orange one for Squattober, the orange Texas Power Bar. Sold out.
Yeah, and I gotta wait till next year.
I know. And then when I went to go get the blue one, I saw that the orange one was in stock, but Squattober was over already.
Yeah. I got the purple one.
Yeah. Hey, man, I have so many bars now. I mean, I can't even recall the specialty bars. Picked up a Rogue Axle bar.
Yeah, the thick bar.
The thick bar. I have the Axle bar now. It's the stubby one. It's a little bit shorter, but that thing's nice to train with.
For like overhead press.
Yep, overhead press. Doing some rows with it. You could do some bench with it. Still got the squat bar, deadlift bar.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, just adding to the collection.
And that axle bar is just good for grip strength and forearms, too, Yep. So it's basically like having those, what are those called that go on the dumbbells?
The fat grips?
Fat grips, yeah. It's like that. Yeah. But it's like way more extreme because it's really big.
I know I still want to try to get a safety squat bar. I've wanted one for a while with the handles. Yeah. And that's another thing, too. I mean, you want to change up your back squats. Go from using a barbell. Let's try a safety squat bar. Change it up.
What's that other bar, the rounded one, the rounded squat bar? Remember at Serenix they had
that? How it kind of has like the divot in the center on your back. I think it's called the Duffalo bar.
Duffalo bar?
I think it is the Duffalo bar.
That'd be interesting to try. I've never tried that one.
How it kind of has like that divot where it
it just goes around you back. Almost. Yeah.
Comes down a little bit.
And the weight's actually like, lower on it. So that'd be interesting to try.
But yeah, man, that's kind of where we've been. Yeah. Just being transparent with our training. There's a lot going on. We're still getting after it, obviously. Yeah. This is a lifelong thing for us. Yeah. But you got to be conditioned to take all the stuff on. Your responsibilities, shit that comes up and gets in the way of your training, and just life's bullshit. Stuff that gets thrown at you. You got to be conditioned for the chaos. You got to be willing to go through it. Stick to your shit. Continue to do what you got to do. Embrace the suck, man. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, nobody's going to hold your hand. Nobody's going to walk you through it. Nobody's going to really be there for you to guide you. There's going to be people supporting you, people, giving you your compliments and whatnot. And, hey, keep going. You're doing fine. I'm here for you. But at the end of the day, it is your sole responsibility to take care of yourself. Yeah. And continue doing what you love. Otherwise, you're just going to spiral downhill.
Yeah, and then, if you're just getting into working out or you're interested in it and you keep saying, I don't have time, look at all the times you're sitting there on the couch on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the times you're playing video games. Look at the times you're going to the bar and drinking. Like, all those times
Yeah.
you can fit in a 1 hour workout.
Yep.
So I think it's important to just realize that, realize what you're doing, and, make better habits,
Yeah. Nobody's going to do it for you.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to do it for you. I mean, if you're not happy with where you currently are, realize that it's your responsibility. It's
Yeah.
I get that there's a lot of things that get thrown at us that we can't control, that set us back, that put us in a position that's hard to get out of.
Yeah.
But ultimately, if we want to get out of it, it falls onto us
Exactly.
to make the changes, whether it's a small change or a big change. And if it's small changes, let them compound.
Mm-hmm.
Keep making changes. Keep getting after it. Keep doing what you got to do. Small victories will eventually lead to winning the war, right?
Yep.
Keep going. I know it's not always easy, but if you want to be a better person and you want results and you want a better life, you got to be willing to put in the work. I mean, we know, like, this point that we got in our fitness journey, nobody did it for us.
Yeah.
Nobody got us here. We did it ourselves by putting in the work and waking up and getting our asses in the gym and training. Looking at some of the PRs that I've hit, nobody did it for me. And that's obvious, but it's just, understand, like, where you currently are when it comes to lifting, that be happy about it, right? Be happy about the work. Take some pride in the work that you did to get where you currently are. Because when it comes to lifting, somebody can't just grab you and make you do it, right? And have you get the results. You have to be willing to put in the work, waking up day after day, going in the gym, putting in the time, having the knowledge of a program and having a goal in mind. And you got to you got to be proud of that.
Mm-hmm. And it's so important to have that goal in mind because, a lot of the lifts I've done, I never thought I could ever do.
Same here.
When I started working out, I could barely bench 135, or I could do under 135. I was probably doing like 95 pounds or something, and then going all the way to that day I hit 225 for the first time. That was one of the greatest days of my life, honestly. And I just never thought I could ever hit that. Yeah. So it's just important to have a goal in mind and, just work towards it because you can do things that you never thought you could ever do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the great things about fitness, working out, is really it is a huge testament of your own consistency, discipline, willpower.
Yeah.
Where you got in your fitness journey is all because of you. You can have a trainer that's going to give you a diet plan and a workout program, but they can't go in there and lift the weights for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
You got to get in there and you got to do it. Mm-hmm. Whether you go in the gym and you start with a 20-pound dumbbell and then now you're dumbbell pressing 100s, that is because of you. Yeah. That is because of the work that you put in. Nobody can take that from you. Nobody can do that for you.
Exactly, man. And then, keeping it consistent. Like, we're going to Florida soon,
we
in
got
a few
Florida
days,
trip.
and we're going to be going to the gym. That's something we've always done. So it's always important to stick to what you're doing, especially on vacation. And it's just fun to see different gyms.
Yeah. So. Oh, absolutely. We've said it before. Yeah. Millions of times as part of the trip.
It is.
We got to see what they can offer, something they don't have here.
Yeah.
You got some good weather down there. Get a good session in. Well, I've already looked up some gyms. I've already sent you some.
Yeah, I know. We still want to go to Puerto Rico one day too. Go in that rooftop gym.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. December's coming up. We'll be in Florida, I believe, the first day, maybe the first few days of December.
Yeah.
That's when it will come out. We'll be down there. But
the first 4 days we'll be there. So
sure as hell we're gonna get it in.
Yeah.
We're on vacation, but again, got some responsibilities. Gotta lift.
Gotta do it.
Gotta get that lift in. So we talked about being consistent with your training. We discussed that sometimes there are life responsibilities that come up and get in the way, but do not let them stop you from doing what you love doing.
Exactly.
All together.
Exactly. It's important to just stay consistent, stay disciplined.
You're meant for more than just a 9-to-5 job and paying bills and sitting there doing nothing.
Hey, but we got the 9-to-5 job.
Yeah, but
I'm just kidding.
But we continue to do what we love.
Exactly.
We continue to do the podcast. We continue to train. we hit the fun months of Squattober,
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah. So it's just important, stay consistent no matter, what you're doing in your life. Always make time. You could be, you're probably sitting on the couch, scrolling on TikTok. You're probably playing a video game. You're probably going to the bar.
Which we play the game too. I mean, that Battlefield.
But you got to make that Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6 is great.
But
it's not getting in the way of working out.
It's not getting in the way of the stuff we love doing.
That's the thing. Well, thanks guys for watching. And before I leave, I'm going to try this dead smelling salt.
Why?
Because sometimes it's not dead. Sometimes it comes
reactivates randomly.
Yeah,
You're lying.
A little bit something. Well, I already opened
a little something.
Why don't you try that green one over there?
That's not green, bro.
It's not. I can't even see it.
That's Diablo.
The green one's in your garage.
As many times as you smell that one, you think it's green.
The new
every episode.
The new one you got is green. That's why I forgot. I forgot. It's the same it's the same container, but it's green. He's done it, guys. He did it.
All right, you gotta squeeze it though.
All right, let me squeeze it.
You gotta fucking squeeze it.
Where's the?
I got the cap.
I don't like it.
No, but it's hitting.
I know.
Let me see it. Let me
it's
try.
Because you're like squeezing the powder up your nose.
Let me try the other one.
This is. Why did you not bring the new one that you bought that I've been saying? Been saying in every episode, Devin's bringing it.
I always forget, man.
Next episode. Could be lying.
Could be lying. Well, the problem with that one now is it's been sitting in a cold garage, so it's kind of getting weaker too.
There's no way they're as weak as
I just got to get them and keep them in the plastic.
Yeah.
Keep them in the house.
All right, well. You're going to try that one?
Dude, I guess.
That one I don't think works. I don't know. It hasn't been open in a long time.
Yeah, this one is completely dead. Oh, yeah, there's nothing.
Zero?
Zero.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. And, this was a little solo episode between me and him. No guests today, but more guests will be here in the coming months, episodes. So thanks, guys. Blech.
Thanks, guys.
We're
going to get ready for Florida.
We're going to get ready for Florida. So thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace out.
Peace.